Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health risk for January 8th, 2026. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com, and we do have a patient weather storefront on Amazon. Amazon purchases made through our patient weather storefront do support the activities of patient weather. Looking at the surface map for January 8th, looks like a terrible Thursday, at least for much of the country. Lots of unsettled weather from the Four Corners up the high plains. Lots of unsettled weather up the Mississippi Valley into the Ohio Valley and toward the Great Lakes. High pressure is trying to push down the eastern seaboard, another area of high pressure trying to push into the Dakotas. And note, for a change, high pressure is pushing eastward into the westernmost coastal areas of California and Washington and Oregon. Looking at our vitality index, it's pretty much a Christmas tree of difficulties, literally from the west coast to the east coast, with a lot of dynamics across the Four Corners and about the Ohio Valley into the Great Lakes. Looking at pressure change, always of interest for individuals sensitive to pressure. Rising pressure is and will be dominating from California north through Oregon, Washington up into Vancouver, and then across Nevada, into Utah, Idaho, across Montana, and really stretching all the way across the Canadian cities from Vancouver through Calgary to Winnipeg. Also looking to the east, you'll see high pressure up and down the eastern seaboard from North Carolina all the way up through Virginia, Maryland, eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and across New England, and again into the Canadian provinces, but especially the cities from Ottawa to Quebec. Looking at falling pressure there in the heart of the country, middle Mississippi to Ohio valleys, picking up from eastern Oklahoma across Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, southern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and up into southwestern Michigan. Temperature change also will be dramatic, with warming temperatures through that middle section of the country, the middle Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley, and actually quite a lot of the east. Note the falling temperatures down the plains from the Dakotas all the way to Nebraska and Kansas, and falling temperatures there in Nevada and Utah. Looking at dew point temperature change, again quite significant, but rising dew points again in that middle Mississippi to Ohio Valley, but thankfully it looks like falling dew point temperatures across California and on up into Nevada and southern Utah and also even Idaho. Good news there. Again, the vapor pressure pretty much supports the same thing. Finally, looking at POI, or the change in the oxygen availability in the atmosphere, and it does look like one terrible Thursday. A migraine risk almost everywhere up and down the plains to the west, but especially difficult across California, Nevada, Utah, southern Idaho, and actually pushing even into portions of western Colorado and western Wyoming. Also a very significant area of migraine risk from Nebraska into the Dakotas and on up into the Canadian cities, especially Winnipeg. We also have a risk of migraine up that eastern seaboard again from the Carolinas across Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, eastern and southern New York, and then all of New England. Note that we have a significant risk of asthma and arthritis from Louisiana up Arkansas, Missouri, all the way into Illinois, Indiana, and the southern portions of the lake. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. Your comments are appreciated. And if you hurt, let us know where you're located. Looks like hurt today or Thursday, coast to coast.